Transmitting to you from Old Heart Radio.
All the job it needed to do.
There it is.
It's there, man. It like literally gets stuck in my head sometimes.
Oh yeah,
After this.
it's slick.
It's slick.
It's just smooth, slapping the bass.
A little slap in the bass. This is another episode of Matinee Edition.
Heyo.
Oh shit. This is, I forgot to look. This is number 12. Number 12.
Yeah, number 12, I think.
Because number 11 was the MCU.
Yeah, because then we wanted it to be 11 for Stranger Things.
Yeah, number 10 was Stranger Things.
Damn it. We're remembering the numbers now.
Yeah, we're on.
Woo! There it is.
So it's been another week. We've got a handful of things to catch up on, really.
Shockingly, no Marvel.
No Marvel news this week, which is kind of good. You know, it's a nice palate cleanser to remind yourself that there's a real world out there outside of the Marvel universe.
The crippling depression sets in.
You're like, no, where's Captain America?
He's old.
Hail Hydra.
Which actually, oh fuck, we're gonna talk about one. I want to bring up one quick Marvel thing.
Yeah.
Anthony Mackie was in an interview. He was talking about him and some of the writers of the upcoming Falcon and Winter Soldier show.
Oh, cool.
They want the story to be revolving around how the U.S. government and governments of the world they want the most widely acceptable Captain America, and that's not him.
Oh my goodness.
It's in. There's going to be a story in the show, supposedly, about how the U.S. government doesn't want a black man to be Captain America.
That does. I mean, that makes sense. Like I can see it coming, but I can see it happening, man. Which is a weird thing to say.
Yeah.
Like it. I mean, it's a very uncomfortable thing to say, but
They've done political stuff before.
Yeah, and they will. I mean, it's a good. I mean, they'll keep doing it's such an open medium. Yeah. That why not trying to use that platform for a little good.
Amen.
You know, what I mean?
feel
it brings such great joy to people that it's like, you know.
Hey, as the legend himself, David Harbour, once said, "Great acting can change the world."
I actually don't disagree with that.
Yeah,
you know,
he said that during that
David Harbour, dude.
He at that award show where he went on the whole rant about politics.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you remember that where Winona Ryder looks like she's high as fuck.
Dude, that's such a good quote. I wouldn't have thought of that, though.
Yeah.
David Harbour's quickly becoming like an in-house favorite here.
Oh, dude.
Like I mean, he's about to start that Marvel career. Like you before this, you were talking about Hellboy.
Should I bring that up right now?
Yeah, let's just start.
Okay, cool.
Because like I still haven't seen it. I really just want to watch it just to watch it.
Yeah.
Kind of like Hellboy 2: The Golden Army.
Hellboy 2 is great though, in my opinion.
It's apparently a lot better than this Hellboy.
Oh, they're all better than this Hellboy.
They're all.
So David Harbour, it's not a shocking turn of events that the new Hellboy was a flop.
Yep.
Barely anybody watched it. It made virtually no money. It was in the red. Like it didn't make the investment back.
It's not, and in the red's not a good thing for a Hellboy.
Oh, absolutely not. I want to point out, I think it's Filmento on YouTube. He made a great video about why Hellboy stole the entire scene structure and plot structure from Infinity War.
Oh shit!
And why that should never be done in the first movie.
No.
For a franchise, and he's absolutely correct. Check out the video, listener Jared, when you get a chance.
Pop it on.
But David Harbour, he made a quote about the lack of success of Hellboy, and it is pure fucking gold to me.
It's a very David Harbour thing to say.
Okay, quote: "I don't think it made a lot of money. I don't really keep up with those things too much, to be honest. But I think the perception was that it was a hit. No, that it wasn't a hit. And so in that way, I don't think the risk is worth it for a sequel." And quotes there. They're referring to a sequel. "I think the idea is to just move on. The producers told me that I did a good job. They thought I really liked what I did. I didn't really like what I did, and I haven't heard anything about a sequel. And I'm not hanging onto my hat on anything like that." Let's keep in mind, this quote is dated like a few days before he was confirmed to be in Black Widow.
That's what I mean. Okay.
Before it was just rumor.
So that cat has to not give a fuck anyway.
Oh, absolutely not.
He's just like, Hellboy's behind me. I didn't think it was great.
Yeah.
Definitely wasn't reflective of my best work.
I mean, and then look, looking back at it, Hellboy's sort of this like snarky, like dark humor character.
Oh, totally.
At least the Ron Perlman one was. I haven't really read many of the comics or anything.
Ron Perlman, so choice in that role. But
oh yeah, but like the movie, it's just him being Hopper from fucking Stranger Things, and just
Hopper
like
with horns,
just bitching about other people, just
yeah.
wanting to live his own life, but getting pulled in a bunch of different directions. It's like that sort of thing.
Well, I mean, if that's like the character,
it's fine.
It plays to his strengths, I suppose.
It's a perfectly satisfying rent the movie when you have nothing else to watch movie.
Fair enough. Do you think that they cast him in that role? Because I remember reading that pretty close after Stranger Things was popping.
Yeah, I think yes.
Do you think they cast him because of Hopper and they
totally.
had that in mind when
Well, I mean, before Stranger Things, he was a stage actor.
Yeah.
And he'd been in super small roles in a ton of other shows.
Okay.
And I think that propelled him into real stardom.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Well, I mean, I'm as always, I was just saying, I'm just looking forward to seeing what he does now. Because now he finally.
He's got the Marvel gig.
He's got this momentum behind him now.
Yeah.
So
I think he's gonna do some pretty cool things.
Hopefully, he doesn't get eaten up entirely by Marvel. You know how Marvel sometimes.
Think so.
I mean, they're great about making actors into these great roles, but
yeah.
What do they
They've propelled so many people to stardom.
What's Chris Evans what has he done while being Captain America?
Snowpiercer.
Okay, Snowpiercer.
That's it. Pretty much. Of note, that's pretty much it.
Understandable in a way, but
I think that's why he's done with it, though.
Yeah, I think he's out to
because
ready
he's a total creative. He's talking about directing. He wants to act in his own stuff. I'm pretty sure he directed and starred in his own indie movie, about a year back.
I mean, that wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's cool. I think it's a good way of getting yourself to a point where you can do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, it's notoriety. Look at Robert Downey Jr. He's done with the MCU now, and he's starting a charity to clean the oceans,
which is fucking awesome.
Yeah, amen.
Cool. That's cool because this podcast is sponsored by Earth Aqua.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Like a sip of that Earth Aqua, feel great.
This one was There's Earth Aqua's been filtered with coffee, but it's still Earth Aqua.
Earth Aqua with coffee. Okay, so now we're gonna move on. We got some stuff to touch on with Hobbs and Shaw coming out.
Oh my
god! We got to get.
I just got weak in the knees a little bit. I want to see that fucking movie. Man.
The hype is real.
The hype is real on that.
We have, as of recording, comes out tomorrow. We are excited here at Old Heart Radio.
But we've talked about a handful of the Fast and Furious.
We're gonna chug through the last 3 of them here.
We gotta rail through these, okay?
Yeah.
We're on which one?
We're on 6. So 6 is the one where it turns out Letty is still alive.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. And they go to London and they essentially face off against what is just the Legion of Doom of the Fast and Furious. It's just evil them.
It's evil versions of them basically.
Yeah. There's a huge fucking Jack dude. This is also the one where The Rock becomes officially a good guy. And he seeks him out. He's like, I need your crew. Also,
I need this family.
One thing I will always remember about this film is that at the beginning, Roman, or Tyrese, as we all know him anyway,
or Tyrese
Gibson,
own it.
he's on a private jet. And he's got a bunch of hookers with him. I'm only assuming they're hookers because that character's played as if he has no charisma.
Absolutely none.
And
he talks a big
There's
game.
a bunch of women, and he's and he gets a call. He's like, "We gotta go to London," and it pans out from the plane. On the side of the plane, it says, "It's Roman, bitches."
Oh, shit. It's Roman, bitches, dude. I did not remember that. This is. Oh my god.
It's so stupid.
It sets the tone for the fucking the movie though, because again, it's an action movie that's just immersed
the fifth one
bullshit
happened,
comedy.
The 5th one happened, and it was still sort of heisty, and then they were just
sort of heisty.
Fuck it, we're going to the moon, which is
shoot big.
Watch 9 be in fucking space or something.
Oh my god.
But they're they're in London. There's the first Shaw dude, which is important with Jason Statham coming later.
Yep. Who plays the first Shaw guy again? It's the guy who played Dracula later.
Yes, he played Dracula in Dracula Untold.
Oh man, what a piece of trash movie that was.
So one of my favorite podcasts, The Weekly Planet, as hosted by Mr. Sunday Movies, he has a annual competition that happens called The Game Is On, which it is the competition for the movie that year that had the most hand-fisted sequel attempt.
Oh my god!
At the end of Dracula Untold, he's in the present day and he's walking around, and then a dude in a suit turns the corner around him and looks and says, "The game is on," and then it cuts to black, and that's the end of that movie.
They totally tried to set up a sequel. I saw that shit in theaters.
The sequel was supposed to be The Mummy with Tom Cruise. And then they just said, fuck it. It got such a bad response, they scrapped it.
It was supposed to spark the whole Monsterverse or whatever.
The Dark Universe.
The Dark Universe. So it failed at that. It failed. The Mummy failed at that.
And now they're talking about doing The Bride of Frankenstein but then that looked like it got scrapped too.
Yo, they're just not pulling that shit off.
Yeah.
Anyway, so back to the Fast and the Furious.
How do we get there?
It always happens. So back to the Fast and the Furious. So Dracula Untold is the villain in number 6.
Yeah.
He's the he's like a slick driver. He
was like a spec ops soldier.
Yeah, that's right.
He was they said something about him being in the vehicular response unit, and it was Tyrese says something. It's like warfare on wheels, something like that. No, it's this is vehicular genocide or something like that.
God, dude, that's the thing you can always count on for Tyrese. I love his character, but he's got the sound bites all throughout the movie.
And I love it. Later in that movie, they're staking him out, and one guy, they catch one of the dudes, and they're chasing him through Waterloo Station in London. And he turns around. It's one of the dudes from The Raid, which I showed you a clip from that. That was pretty badass. And this dude just kicks Tyrese and Han's ass, and kicks a bunch of Bobby's asses too. Yeah. Throws Tyrese through a glass plane, and they both get up and look at each other and go, "We never have to talk about this again. No one needs to know about this."
No, they're so proud.
Yeah, they're so fucking proud.
They're gonna be like, we beat his ass, but he still got away.
Yeah, it's that sort of thing. Fucking Wonder Woman, I think, kills the dude later.
Oh my god!
Before she kills herself. Yeah, this is also the movie where they have the tank.
I thought this was the movie.
Yeah, the tank flies out on the freeway and it's just murdering countless civilians
again
in oncoming traffic. There's a tank going through oncoming traffic, just crushing cars.
So okay, I have to read this. So back in the day, there's this movie. It's got to be from the 80s. It was called Commando with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yes.
There's this famous scene where he storms this one-man army, storms this fucking beach, and he just slaughters at least 100 people. He's just and there's for a while there was this rumor that there was a body count. I think in certain copies of the movie.
It'd be fucking great.
It'd be so fucking great, right? But. That's what the Fast and Furious movies need. I want to see a body count through some of these sequences.
I just want somebody to assume that there's full families in these cars.
I mean, yeah, that's what I mean. We gotta run through the movie and just try to rack up see how many people actually get crushed by this fucking tank.
Yeah.
You know,
there's but they're going through that whole scene. That's also the one where where Tyrese, for some reason, because he's a dumbass, drives directly in front of the tank and has to jump out of his car and land on top of Paul Walker's car to live. And then they use fucking the Mustang that got crushed as a way to lock it in and flip the tank over.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Absolutely stupid.
How the fuck?
Yeah, they flip the tank over, but Letty's on top of the tank, gets flung, and then Dom crashes his car, launches himself through the air, grabs Letty in midair, and a YouTube channel that I've grown to hate in the recent year, CinemaSins, don't make me go on a rant about this shit. They promote stupidity in filmmaking and stupidity in the audience. They have some funny stuff.
It's funny to laugh at shit, but it's not funny to actually promote that kind of shit.
Yeah, they have way too much of a perspective on I've seen too many sins where they're just their own jokes are just blatantly wrong.
Yeah.
Like seeing the comments
Yeah.
for like their Get Out video, all the comments are like, "This movie looks stupid." Get Out was one of the best fucking films that year.
Yeah.
So
Again,
whatever.
that's true. And if you don't believe that, actually, just get the fuck up.
Yeah, rant. I'll go on another day. Maybe
but-
we'll do a day about film criticism. But it's a hilarious joke after that where they like land on top of a car. It's like, now this is where the movie takes a turn because secretly Letty and Dom are going to be helping their friends from the afterlife because they're absolutely dead right now.
They're like the couple in Beetlejuice.
Yeah, pretty much. That's fuck, man. It's so that movie's crazy. And then there's the runway that never fucking ends.
Yeah, that is absolutely a ridiculous sequence, to be honest.
Which is so stupid. It's so stupid but so great. Yeah. And at the end of that film, the Shaw kid, he gets thrown out the back of the plane, and it's assumed he's dead.
Dracula's dead?
Dracula's dead.
My God.
Whoa, he's not dead. He's comatose.
Well, yeah, he's comatose.
Also, that's where Han, the best character in the fucking franchise,
Yep.
his girlfriend, Wonder Woman, had other contract obligations with DC and chose to sacrifice herself to save Han and kill herself jumping into a fucking plane engine.
She threw herself on that Wonder Woman grenade.
Oh, yeah. Ooh.
Oh, man.
She's deflecting the bullets. Like,
dude, she's got her bracelets on. Okay. Okay, so just as a brief, like, where does 6 leave you?
6 leaves everybody. They're pardoned by the U.S. government. Yeah. They're back in L.A.
Okay.
And then it hard cuts to Tokyo and shown that Jason Statham actually killed Han.
No, not the transporter.
Not the transporter. He's driving a Mercedes too, which makes it all the better.
That's the thing. You're like, oh yeah.
You're standing up. I need to stand up.
Well, I'm standing up because like I got energy today for some reason.
We're feeling it. You're drinking some
juice,
cold Aqua-Cola brew.
My Earth Aqua filtered with coffee.
No, but
okay. So 7 picks. So then where's
7 picks up?
If we're zooming on,
we're zooming.
We're hitting 60.
We're cruising. We're hitting 60. We're hitting 120.
We're hitting 120.
Got it. Ride or die. No,
Family.
But oh god. No,
okay,
but
so 7. Where's 7 picks
so
up?
7 picks up. Hobbs, the Rock, is in his office and he finds fucking Jason Statham in his office downloading shit.
What a crafty bastard.
They have a fight in which the Rock bottoms Jason Statham.
The Rock Bottom is officially in the Fast and Furious universe.
He is Deckard Shaw, Jason Statham, older brother of the whatever.
Dracula?
Luke Shaw, something like that.
Yeah,
I think his name is actually Luke.
I think the actor's name is Luke.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
Fuck.
Look at the IMDb that shit.
IMDb. And he's comatose. His brother's trying to get revenge and shit. The dude who is evil in Blood Diamond is also a bad guy in this movie. He's also a bad guy in Guardians of the Galaxy. That dude's
side note, I just love the fact that like we very rarely can remember names, but we can definitely remember like other movies to reference these people.
Okay,
these actors.
I think this dude in particular, he's a great fucking actor.
I'm so bad about it.
But he's always like the expendable bad guy.
Oh, for sure. There's tons of guys like that. They're just like they've
always
been in tons of movies.
And he's gonna be in The Kingsman, and he looks like he's gonna be an expendable bad guy.
What the fuck?
Because the real bad guy's gonna be Rasputin.
It's like what Sean Bean was for the real longest time.
Always
continuing to be.
This tangent.
Yeah.
I'm playing Hitman on my Xbox right now.
Nice.
So fucking fun. There's elusive target missions. They're like people that have been tried, like it's whole setup. They're very difficult to kill. They'll see you coming.
Okay.
And one of them is Sean Bean. You have to hunt and kill Sean Bean.
That's so great.
It's so stupid. And you can kill him and like you can recreate the Game of Thrones thing, like where he's like posing. He's there and he's like posing next and like with like a guillotine and stuff.
Yeah.
And you can like accidentally trigger the axe and make it look like there was a crazy accident where the axe actually came down and cut his head off.
Oh my god, that's kind of fucking cool. Actually.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking cool. But back to Fast and Furious.
Okay, so the transporter is avenging his brother Dracula Untold.
Yeah.
And where's like the family at?
The family, so they're all doing their own thing. They're all hanging out. Everybody's
spending
sort of
millions.
Everybody's spending millions. They're back home in LA. And so Han,
I love that, dude. Are they gonna keep all the money that they
kept
steal
all the
after
money.
all this shit?
Shit, they're like multi-millionaires.
That's the thing. Like they get pardoned a million fucking times,
and then
like,
and then they become spies.
Yeah, okay,
this is the one where they become spies.
Okay, so this is officially like the spy turn. Okay,
so they it's so fucking stupid. No, I love it nonetheless. They're They fuck.
We're good. So
they're in LA. They're
spending bills.
So the transporter kills Han, and while he's in Japan, he ships them a box that looks like from Japan. They assume it's from Han. That box has a bomb in it, and it blows up the house from Fast and Furious 1.
No!
And Vin Diesel's there looking at it, he's like scowling. I just did it in this audio-based medium. I made that facial expression. He's scowling. He's like, I'm gonna get revenge. And they bury Han, and the most dramatic, like melodramatic type thing. Fucking Dom's standing off to the side, hands behind him. He's looking into the distance and realizes he's got his eyes locked with fucking Jason Statham in the distance.
Damn.
And they have like a game of chicken because now they're avenging somebody. They're both avenging someone.
Oh man, it's revenge.
He called them the Avengers. Fuck. That was a shitty joke. That's scraping the bottom of the barrel. Even
speaking of, Endgame just recently started streaming.
Maybe we should start doing video or audio commentaries.
Maybe.
Anyway,
so
shameless plug potentially. We've never talked about this before. But they have like a game of chicken. They collide head on, and it like shatters all the glass around them for some reason in this building. Whatever the fuck. Kurt Russell comes down and saves Dom last minute.
That is right.
He's Mr. Nobody.
I was wondering. I was like, this is, like I said, my remembrance. It's all blurry about this shit, to be real. But like, Kurt Russell at some point got plugged in, and this is it.
He shows up. This is the spy
Number
dude.
7.
And they have the most shameless plugs ever because Dom's talking with Kurt Russell, and Kurt Russell's like, "You want a pint? I've got this beautiful pale ale," and Dom goes, "You know, I like that stuff. There's nothing better than popping a Corona with the family."
Motherfucking Corona, dude.
It's totally that type of shit.
Corona's been in that fucking series since the first movie.
No fucking film franchise has done more to push shitty products than Fast and Furious.
God, dude.
Like Dodge. Like fuck. Let's count the amount of times people say Hemi in Fast and Furious. They probably only said it a few times.
No joke though. Okay, so
then they go off to like Abu Dhabi, and that's when they jump between the fucking towers.
Yeah, that's fucking right, dude. Okay, so I want to bring it back to like the whole idea of spice. So they get roped into like the whole spy game. Yeah. Through Kurt Russell. But where so what does Kurt Russell like work for? Like
he's like CIA or something. He's a person that's like he's so in on it he doesn't even exist. You know, like it's that dude.
There's no files on that motherfucker.
They call him Mr. Nobody.
That's right. Okay.
And then even when in the next movie when fucking Paul Walker dies and they're like, shit, we have all the demographics except for the white dude now. they bring in Scott Eastwood. Oh, and they only refer to him as Little Nobody, I'm pretty sure. But at the end of that movie, fucking Jason Statham is fighting. Towards the end of that movie, The Rock sees that they're fighting in LA, and he sees like a tower falling from his hospital bed, and he flexes a cast off. Which, do you remember this shit?
No, I don't. My God, dude.
He flexes a cast off and then gets like suited up for battle. This is also where like there's a drone chasing the cars around, blowing him up, and The Rock drives an ambulance off an overpass, crushes the drone.
Oh my God, dude.
and walks over, and because apparently there's a trigger on a remote drone, just grabs the Gatling gun off the fucking drone and starts shooting at a helicopter.
Of course, man. He just fresh out of the hospital bed, just
like broken arm.
Fucking Christ.
This movie ends with Jason Statham. Fuck. I was like, is this Black Adam test footage? There's the end of the movie pretty much ends with Vin Diesel and Jason Statham dueling it out with like fucking tire irons, and there's some great edits of that where it makes them have lightsabers.
Oh fuck!
And it's so fucking cool.
I love that shit.
And it's playing like Duel of the Fates, and they're duking it out. The best fucking second best in my opinion, one-liner in the Fast and Furious movie. They're fighting, and like the structural integrity of the building has been compromised. Yeah. He's like, know what they say about street fights? The street always wins. and he stomps on the ground, and the floor gives out, not where he's standing, but where Jason Statham is standing.
Oh,
and he gets captured because he's like being crushed by rubble.
What the shit?
It's so stupid.
It's like a Hulk move or something. He's just like,
yeah, totally. It's like that. He just like, and it's just like that
so
sort of thing,
ridiculous.
and everything just gives out.
That's so fucking absurd.
It's so stupid.
That's how he eventually defeats the villain.
Yep.
Oh wow.
And then they put him in prison, and then the next movie, Fate of the Furious, because they didn't just want to call this one Furious 7. They wanted to rhyme.
They wanted to rhyme.
They ends up in Cuba. Charlize Theron shows up and blackmails him. It's like, I have your kid. Spoilers. Fucking Brian Jr. I think they call him. Like,
real creative on that one.
Represent.
Rest in peace.
Respect. One like equals one respect.
Okay, so Charlize Theron shows up.
I think her name is Cypher? Something like that. She's like a tech person.
I hear she's coming back.
Yeah, they didn't kill her.
No.
She just jumped out the plane with a parachute. And then was gone.
So she ain't dead.
No, she ain't dead. She ain't stupid. But they make it sound like since they became fucking spies, she's been like pulling the strings behind all of it.
Oh shit.
Like the first Shaw dude was working for her. The fucking expendable dude from all the movies was also working for her.
Mr. Expendable.
Yeah, Mr. Expendable. Not to be confused with The Expendables.
No, definitely not.
Definitely not.
Whole different weird
Whole different sort of wannabe Fast and Furious type deal.
So strange.
But this is also the movie where Vin Diesel goes rogue, so they bring in Jason Statham.
Oh, that's right.
Well,
yeah.
no, actually, The Rock goes to prison for a moment, which I actually found an audio bite of this one-liner because it's so fucking good. And they're like shit-talking each other in the prison before there's like a breakout. And this is the one-liner.
I will beat your ass like a Cherokee drum.
It's so fucking stupid. I love it. So they break out of prison and they find out that Jason Statham is going to be teaming up with them to bring in Jason Statham,
Vin Diesel,
and Charlize Theron, and they're teaming up with Scott Eastwood as well. So
nobody,
the untalented Eastwood child, the significantly less relevant
fall from the tree.
Oh yeah,
oh yeah,
he's not good at all.
So
I'm pretty sure, like, towards the end of this movie, they end up, like, having some moment of respect with each other. It's like, now I see you only had family in mind. And it's like, you were trying to avenge your brother. I completely forgot you killed Han. It's like that sort of thing.
So, this is the one, Vin Diesel's sister gets killed in this movie, right?
Oh no! It was like his previous lover from when Letty was.
Oh, that's it. That's it. Oh, and what? She's from Chris
Hemsworth's wife.
Yeah, and she was like working with The Rock in the first movie. The Rock
she was in the fifth one, and she made like cameos in the other.
That's right.
In 6 and 7.
Completely forgot about her.
But I guess while they were fooling around, he had a fucking kid.
He just like randomly popped one in her.
Yeah.
That's such a random storyline to like just like drop into the movie. Too.
Yeah. Hey, but when I watched that shit in theaters, there were audible gasps. which brings to
they didn't use protection.
Oh my god!
that's like
these movies make a fucking $1 billion at the box office.
It's fucking crazy.
So that movie ends. Everybody's together.
Yeah.
And so
the
brings
back
us
together.
Families back together. Jason Statham's part of it now. Everybody's conveniently forgotten that he blew up their house and killed Han.
I like that there's this trend that they make their enemies their family.
Yeah, which also the fucking other Shaw kid ends up popping up at the end of that movie too, on the fucking plane. Which that's actually a great scene.
Isn't a Shaw like another Shaw sibling gonna be in the
and then
movie?
Also fucking who's the Helen Mirren?
Yeah,
plays their mom.
Helen Mirren.
Which she's going to be in the new movie too.
That's such an incredible cat. Like I can't believe
this
bullshit universe roped in such a great actress.
She loves the Fast and Furious movies,
really?
And it was her wanting to be in one.
Dude, that's fucking dope.
She's going to be in Hobbs and Shaw coming up.
Yeah.
And so, which brings us to that. We're going to be watching that at some point. Probably talk about the next one. Probably talk about. We need to plan that. We're going to talk about this sooner or later. That's going to make so much fucking money.
Yeah, it's going to be big.
Like, it's going to be huge.
Because The Rock is fully invested in it now.
Oh,
and The Rock is himself such a huge platform.
Yeah, this is his thing now, mostly because he's not going to be in the next Fast and Furious movie.
Yeah.
Like, this is his deal.
Yeah. Which brings me to my question to like kind of just set the tone for that. What are you looking forward to the most? Hobbs and Shaw or the next Fast and Furious movie?
Dude, I have no idea. Like,
I'm kind of torn, dude.
I know. The best parts of these fucking stupid movies for the past, like, 5 years now have been The Rock and Jason Statham.
It's kind of true. At least, I mean, The Rock is, like, definitely the standout. Like, that transitioned hard from it being Vin Diesel and, like,
he was a
Tyrese,
fucking
basically.
badass.
So, and the first movies they were, dude, like, excuse me.
Oh, my God.
Disgusting. Like, hey, it happens, man. Bodily functions.
Jesus.
Bodily functions.
Oh, no.
No.
Hey, Smart, no.
So it transitioned hard from Vin Diesel and, like, I'd say Tyrese and Paul Walker probably.
Yeah.
To, like,
it's way more rock
Jason,
centric.
Yeah. And what the fuck is are they going to do with the other Fast and Furious movies?
Vin Diesel.
Question, dude. Like, the Vin Diesel.
Scott Eastwood.
He's going to I Am Groot. His
John
way through
Cena.
the whole fucking movie. John Cena. That's going to be so strange. Either way, so, okay. So that catches us up through the Fast and Furious.
Yeah, I wanted to get that out of the way before.
Yeah, and so...
Have a good laugh.
Jesus. I mean, like, go see the fucking Hobbs and Shaw so you can compare your laughter to our laughter.
Yeah.
There's, like, a handful of other shit. Like, not, like, Marvel shit, but...
Wasn't the busiest news week overall.
Well, it definitely wasn't, but, like...
we're coming off the sensational week that was Comic-Con. So.
I've got, like, a couple of random, I guess you could call them DC news bits.
All right.
One of them was they are fully investing themselves, apparently, in the New Gods movie, which hasn't been put into production. Nobody's been cast. I think there's a director attached to it.
What the fuck?
But they made this, like, big old, like, I say big, like, not Marvel big.
Yeah.
Like, there's, like, Marvel and then, like, the little shadow behind it big.
Yeah.
They made this announcement where they were saying, like definitely Darkseid is going to be involved in this New Gods movie, and that he was originally supposed to show up in the Justice League, but was cut.
Like, I remember hearing about that.
And so yeah, which
they had
doesn't
an actor
surprise
and everything
me,
for him.
but it transitioned me into yet another Snyder cut conversation because I forgot to mention this the other day when we were recording. There was tons of Snyder cut, like, postings all around Comic-Con. There was even a plane that flew overhead.
It was like released the Snyder cut?
Yeah.
Fuck. Awesome.
So I just wonder if that would be in there, and I wonder if Warner Brothers is slowly getting pressured more and more into that shit.
I don't see why not.
I mean, I don't see why not. Put it online or something.
Yeah, put it on DC Universe. Which is I've heard going away.
The other DC news I wanted to bring up is kind of DC news. It's more like View Askew news. It's Kevin Smith news. But it's also attached to DC in a way because famously his characters Bluntman and Chronic are like okay.
I don't know, man.
So his View Askew universe starts with this movie Clerks, right? Clerks became this thing that launched him into, like, basically being a director. And he started writing his own movies, including one we'll just reference, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, where his characters Jay and Silent Bob become, like, they go from being stoner drug dealers to, like, these, like, ridiculous characters in a universe that kind of just doesn't make sense.
What the fuck?
So, like, there's, like, a
like
movie.
Fast and Furious.
Yeah, there's, like, a movie that's getting made about them in Hollywood.
Oh, I've heard about this.
Yeah, and so
they're bringing it back.
They're basically rebooting. He's basically rebooting the movie.
Cool.
But, which is why it's called, I think, Jay and Silent Bob Reboot. But
is it like so? Let's preface. I have no fucking idea about most of this stuff.
So
is it like relatively self-aware?
I would say so at this point.
They're calling if they're calling it reboot.
Yeah, I would say like he's absolutely embracing that, which is kind of like I think right up his alley. Like the dude's a very self-aware person. I think.
Yeah, Kevin Smith seems like such a cool dude.
Really, dude. I mean, honestly, I'd love to meet the cat.
Yeah.
But anyway, so this movie, the reason it ties into DC is because it has a callback to one of Batman's earlier films, Batman Forever.
You're shitting me?
No joke.
Really?
No joke. Because Kevin Smith reached out during production of the movie to Val Kilmer and was like, hey man, like, I know you're not doing much acting right now because Val Kilmer's got like this throat disease.
Yeah.
And so, but he was like, hey, like, do you want to like reprise this role as like a quasi Batman?
What the fuck?
So he's playing, I believe, he's playing Blunt Man, which is like Silent Bob's stoner alter ego superhero character.
What the fuck?
But it's going to be played by Val Kilmer, Batman.
What?
Yeah. Which is just like
fuck?
the cheesiest, greatest little like nugget of like nostalgic bullshit.
I'm so confused.
And that's one of the reasons why I love Kevin Smith's movies.
Fuck yeah, man.
There's such good callbacks to like
just
so much little
stupid
nuance.
humor.
Yeah, and that's like this whole like he built this whole universe on basically his like fandom. Like,
what the fuck?
Yeah, dude. Like, he's just a fucking nerd.
Kevin Smith's
like,
earning points.
Yeah, he's just a nerd that wanted to nerd out and started just like, making it happen for himself.
Amen.
But his movies are really fucking. They're really funny and like it's really crass, but like
I've always heard that. I've never like actively gone into the dude. I feel like I'd really like him.
Don't start with Cop Out if you that's the only movie you can't like bother watching.
Really?
I'd say, because like it was this supposedly big budget movie that was going to be like Bruce Willis and Tracy Morgan buddy cop comedy, right? And
that's of a time gone.
Yeah, and it definitely did not work out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it flopped like a hardcore motherfucking.
Not everybody can nail it every time.
Not at all. But I want to bring up. I guess this is a segue. So Robert Pattinson,
yes,
new Batman. He's got another movie coming out soon. Well, I mean, not. He's got a couple things going on right now.
Yeah. He's been doing a handful of like smaller projects.
But it's this movie.
That's sort of been this guy's whole deal lately.
Yeah.
Since Twilight, he's only done like small projects, excluding the one that we joked about, the one at our time where he was in 9/11.
Yeah. But I mean, like that's kind of a good point, actually.
Yeah.
Like, you're right. He seems to have a history of just wanting to do like these like these kind of like random understated films in a lot of cases.
Amen.
And this
I think
one,
it's pretty cool.
I think is going to be one of them. It's called The Lighthouse.
All right.
They just released a trailer for it. It's like a black and white film.
I haven't even seen the trailer.
Oh, dude, maybe we should. We'll have to watch it. But
yeah, we'll check it out.
It's like this black and white film that kind of, from what I've read, it's about him, Robert Pattinson's character, and Willem Dafoe, which is already in my mind a beautiful casting like combination.
I feel like if Willem Dafoe's in it, it's a beautiful casting.
It's gonna be, dude, because that dude's earned a place into like the doing whatever the fuck he wants.
Oh yeah,
like, and so
like I'm pretty sure he didn't have a speaking role in Grand Budapest Hotel, but he was so fucking cool in that movie.
So cool, dude. But so their characters basically play these guards on an island with a lighthouse, where they have no basically outside connection, and they have this slow. What I read was they both have this slow descent into like madness, kind of a la like Jack Nicholson's character in
like The Shining.
The Shining.
Oh, that's cool.
But like both of them, and so like it just sounds like an interesting fucking movie. And
sort of like is it gonna be like psychological horror type?
I'd say I think so.
All right. Cool.
But also I read that it has the most like artistic flatulence recorded on film. So it might have like a little of that kind of humor
show his
to it.
Dick again?
I really hope not, dude. If you've watched Antichrist, you don't need to see it again. Like,
I haven't.
Oh, you haven't?
I haven't. You told me this.
Yeah, dude, it's gross. It's a beautiful movie though. Like that's the fucked up thing about Lars von Trier's movies, dude. Like, I'll die on that hill. Like I'll watch his movies, but I don't know if I'll like them. like I'll appreciate them in one degree. You know what I mean? Like.
Oh God.
Which brings me to one more thing.
All right, hit me with it.
Throw one more thing in.
Let's do it.
Jerry Seinfeld. How do you feel about him?
I like Seinfeld. I haven't really paid much attention to him since.
I like Seinfeld. That's probably most people's fucking answers, though.
Comedians in cars getting coffee is entertaining depending on the guest, though. In my opinion.
Yeah, that's very true because Jerry Seinfeld nowadays is actually not that interesting, I think. He's kind of just like...
From last thing I heard about him was I was listening to a podcast and one dude was cracking a joke about how Jerry Seinfeld's humor is probably super outdated at this point.
Well,
and one person was like, he was making jokes about an iPhone in a recent stand-up. But it's like still, nobody's... Like, his time has passed, per se.
It's super true in a lot of ways. Like, he's at that point where he can relate to other comedians because he's like a fucking,
he's
father
like
of comedy.
The old guard at this point. He is, because of how fucking great Seinfeld was, he is so responsible for the humor that has become pervasive in today's culture. Like totally. Like Seinfeld is so fucking monumental, and it's such an icon, and it's so nostalgic at this point that it's just like, yeah, I'm not surprised that it's like such a cornerstone.
Absolutely. But in one of his recent episodes of that show, like Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee or whatever, he was just like shit on one of his old rivals from the old his old New York comedy circuit days.
Damn.
And, and it's another famous comedian, Bobcat Goldthwait or Thwaite, I think.
Nope, doesn't ring a bell.
I recognize his name. I'm not familiar with his work, but like from what I read, Jerry Seinfeld just went off on the fucking cat.
Damn.
And
was he the
which
guest?
Is super uncharacteristic. No, he wasn't the guest. Like somebody just brought it. One of his guests just brought him up.
Oh fuck! He just tore him.
Yeah.
Damn.
And it led to him just trash talking the thing. But throughout reading about this incident, I read that Seinfeld used to be a Scientologist 30 years ago or something. And he's
shit.
He tries to distance himself from that. He's like, yeah,
times past.
I practiced that 30 years ago. But he also sort of defends it in a way where he talks about being oh yeah, it was and it's intellectual and all this stuff. And it's no, dude, it's not.
Jerry, why?
Jerry, why?
Jerry, why would you do this? Why have you forsaken me?
But this brings me to my point about Seinfeld is that he's his own character. He became his Jerry Seinfeld from the show in so many people's minds.
Yeah.
Right? So
he's a caricature of himself.
He really is. He's a complete I think he's a kind of detached fucking person in reality, because he jokes about he's like Ellen. He jokes about having lots of money and fucking with people that don't have a lot of money. And he jokes about things that we can't relate to.
To Ellen getting her own show where she legitimately just hits a button and somebody falls away.
Dude, that's Ellen's fucking that's everything she wants, man. She just likes to fucking torment people. But that's not what we're talking about. So I don't know. After learning Seinfeld's got this seedy side, it kind of reminded me that there is a massive difference between the television show in reality with
absolutely
cat. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I mean there's definitely those actors that have become so huge that they have such you're the shit.
Yeah.
You're the fucking best. Eddie Murphy's one that comes to mind. Somebody who became super detached because they were so cool for such an extended period of time.
Yeah, for sure.
He just gets surrounded by yes men.
Oh, absolutely.
So I'm not surprised that Seinfeld would be the same.
Dangerous fucking game, man.
Yeah.
So it just kind of and I look up to Seinfeld in a lot of ways. His shit, that show, the writing on that show is so
it's so
fucking
good.
Done.
There is the one thing that has made it age horribly though, is
that
every fucking problem on that show can be solved with a cell phone.
Word.
Yeah.
That's so true. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's been an interesting week in fucking news though.
Yeah, entertainment's interesting. Also, I heard that Jerry Seinfeld recently went on a whole rant about colleges not wanting him to do visits because he's been insecure. He's been very offensive to groups of people in the past.
That's not surprising, I guess.
I'm not surprised.
Like I said, I feel like I haven't seen that dude without a blazer in a really long time.
I know.
And I'm
or not
blazers,
in a Porsche.
But you know what I mean? Yeah, or not in a Porsche.
That dude fucking loves 911 Porsches. That's
really
the 911 Porsche line that's been around for way longer than 911.
Okay, so have you kept up at all on the Terminator Dark Fate news?
No.
Okay, so I literally I saw this earlier. I'm glad I took a glance at it. Eddie Furlong from Terminator 2. He played John Connor in Terminator 2.
I saw this.
That motherfucker's gonna be in the movie.
Yeah. So the theory I saw is that he's going. The reason that Doomsday hasn't came yet is because he lived and he started sort of preparing to stop him.
Okay.
But the movie's gonna open with him as an adult getting assassinated by a Terminator.
Fuck.
Yeah. But the timeline's going to have changed enough that this little girl that they're chasing in the trailer is the next. Is the person who's gonna
the next John Connor.
The next John Connor.
Fuck, dude.
And it's why Sarah Connor gonna mother the next John Connor. It's why Sarah Connor in the trailer was because I was you once and that sort of thing. Interesting theory to me.
Yeah, well, and that's all. Like, that's what I love about those movies is like you could have a million theories about the Terminator franchise because there's so much like weird time travel shit that has already happened. It's hard to fucking keep up.
I did see one thing about the character Arnie's playing, where he is a Terminator, but he's like become like a staple of a community. He's been a part of it for long enough that they just think that he's like the weird monotone dude.
Yeah. Oh,
like,
that's fucking great.
I saw something where it was like, what if you had like a food truck?
Yeah. He's just flipping burgers
he's
in
like,
the back.
Hello. Would you like a burger?
Can I get you anything else?
Cheeseburger?
Oh, you need some cheese on that ball.
I don't eat cheese because I'm ripped. It is bad for my body.
Oh my god. I'm just stoked to see Arnie in another fucking Terminator movie, I think.
Thanks for listening. This has been our episode of Matinee Edition.
Matinee Edition. Get out there, like it.
Drink
it. Tell everybody.
You're a choir boy. A choir boy.
Drink your Earth Aqua. Do it now.
What the fuck?